Hey, happy Friday, everyone. It's March 13th, 2026. I'm Rich Tola, and here's what's cooking for today. Happy Frigga des. Wait, let me say that. Frigga tricaudescophobia. Oh, that's fear of Friday the 13th. We're having another Friday the 13th this year. Is it a harbinger of things to come, bad things to come? Do a little reading from my book, The Sub Tales of an Inner City Teacher, because 6 years ago today was the anniversary of when the coronavirus closed the world, closed the schools. So I want to talk about that. And number two, war. What is it good for? Remember Edwin Starr? That was June of 1970. We were still fighting the Vietnam War when that song came out. I love that song. So we talk a little bit about war, hopefully not too much. And then finally, the Academy Awards, and the winner is, that's going to be this weekend. Talk briefly about that. But first, let's check in on the ABCs. What's going on, guys? All body workout, blissful sleep, colorful diet. For me, check, check, check. 3 checks today. Good workout, short and sweet like yesterday. Hey, thanks for everybody who made some comments on that show yesterday. Did a reading from my memoir. That was fun. Talk about spring break. But more importantly, over the weekend, got to get your workout in. You got to eat right. You got to sleep right. So this is the time for you to really catch up. If you haven't worked out this week, got to do it. You got to do it. You got to step into that. All right, guys, let's do this. 6 years ago today, I want to read you this. Okay, this sub Tales of an Inner City Teacher. What a wild ride that was. Here we go. This is chapter 11, The Lost Years. I talk about how these students, and they still have lost years of education. Here we go. It was also Friday the 13th. So if you had Frigga triskaidekaphobia, you would have been petrified that day. I didn't have such a fear, but that's not to say I wasn't petrified. I was assigned to this elementary school where I had taught several times before. On this particular Happy Friday, it was raining when I arrived and continued to rain until I left at exactly 2:45 p.m. I know this because the principal had asked me to stay late after teaching the longest day of my career. I'll get into that in a second. I said no. And I also lied about the fictitious bartending job I needed to go to before happy hour started, which she didn't buy and which I didn't care. So I left at 2:45 after having spent every single minute of my unhappy Friday inside that classroom. Starting at 7:45 a.m. when all the kids came knocking, meaning no breaks, no recess, no lunch, no relief, and most importantly, no way to take a restroom break for longer than a minute. The moment I signed in at 7:30, I knew it was going to be a long day. Why? Because Treats wasn't there. Imagine the kindest, coolest, toughest old school gentleman from that exact neighborhood who had this job for the past 40 years. That's correct. This was the only job he held since graduating high school. Everyone knew him as Treats, a long-standing nickname he got from giving candy treats to the kids, while he was responsible for running this little elementary school from the outside in. More specifically, Treats arrived at 7 a.m. to open the schoolyard and classrooms for everyone, then greeted all the kids before watching over them during breakfast. At 7:45, he promptly ushered them into their respective classrooms with the long blow of his whistle. Then he was omnipresent all day long, watching over the yard when the kids played or had lunch or had recess or lined up to leave the school at 2:45. Treats was the man, and without him, this elementary school was like a ship without a captain. So there you have it, a ship on the loose. And with our captain MIA, he left me and all the other teachers with no one there to support us. So our kids never left our classrooms or went outside because of the drenching rain, except to go to the restroom, which ultimately led to the longest day of my career. You see, it was extremely rare for subs or teachers not to get a lunch break or recess break, or even a 5-minute pit stop for your personal needs. Safe to say that after the first hour on my own with a bunch of rambunctious 7-year-olds, I was in over my head. A harbinger of tough times to come. Wow, that was the most difficult day I ever taught, 636 days, K through 12. That was brutal. Hey, everybody knows that. You're a mother, you're a father, you have these kids without taking a break. Unbelievable. But is it? Is Friday the 13th? I'm asking you, is this a harbinger of things to come, bad things to come? Because we're at war. Let me tell you, I'm 63. I'll be 63 years old in 2 weeks. In my lifetime, there's been more than 50 military actions that the Americas have taken. 5 of them have been wars. Started with the Vietnam War, right? When I was born, it was the Vietnam War. That lasted, horrible war. That went on for 10 years, almost 10 years. Brutal. Gulf War, the war in Afghanistan, the Iraq War. Now it's the Iran War. What does it mean to fight wars? Okay. When you're fighting an irrational opponent, that's brutal. How do you put down an irrational opponent? Hey, I talk about bad apples in my book. The only way you could handle a bad apple is to remove the bad apple, right? So, hey, I'm not saying I'm criticizing anybody. We're at war. That's not my decision. And I'm backing, hey, our president. I stand behind our president. So, but we got to finish what we started. And how do you do that? That could be years and years. We saw what happened just in the last day, right? Old Dominion University. Give a shout out to my brother. He had offered a scholarship to go play baseball there. And in synagogue in Michigan. I mean, this is insane, but this is what we're up against. I don't see that that's going to stop, especially when you're fighting an opponent that what do they have to lose at this point? So say it to say, war is a horrible thing. It's the largest supply disruption in history of global oil markets. They think oil goes to 200 a barrel. I think it might go to 150. Things will get better, but the best thing we could do is not drag this thing out, right? I don't know what you guys think over that, but what I'm saying is this. Again, being 63 years old and seeing all these confrontations, I don't think it's ever going to end. I watch a lot of these big cat videos. You guys know that if you watch my shows. I mean, you know what I really respect about that world of the wild, I don't know, the wild, the innocent, and the Bruce Springsteen. These cats, if they're defending their territory, if they're defending their children, or if they have to eat, that's when they kill. You know, that's how it works. It's not just like randomly going out there. So I know, well, what we're doing has a purpose, without a doubt. And I think it's a great purpose. We got to protect ourselves. But hopefully this doesn't go on, because we don't need uncertainty, right? The biggest thing, I mean, I'm big in the markets, and the biggest thing is uncertainty. Nobody likes uncertainty. Nobody likes to get hit in the pocketbook, right? I talked about staycation, saving your money, but we got to hang tough. And I really do. I really hope this thing goes quickly. We finish it, but we're fighting against an opponent that seems that it's quite challenging. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on this? I get asked this. Hey, what do you think about the war? What do you think about the war? All I know is this. I'm an American. You know, if somebody came here, I'd grab a gun. Never had training. I wish I had training, but I stand behind protecting the people of our country and our country. So hopefully we're not going to be sending guys on the ground there getting killed, because we know that. We saw what happened in all these other wars. A lot of deaths occur. All right. Let's move on. And the winner is the Academy Awards. What is it? The 98th Academy Awards this week. And well, let me tell you, I'm going to be honest with you. You know, I love movies, but I only saw 3 of the top 10 movies, the 10 movies that are up for the Academy Award. I didn't see Sinners. I have to admit. I saw F1. Timothy Chalamet, I saw his movie. I saw a couple of them, one battle after another. But the way I'm feeling, again, just on a feeling, I think Sinners is going to mop up. Michael B. Jordan, he's awesome. He deserves an award. I mean, Timothy Chalamet will definitely win an award in his career. Great actor. I love him in everything he does. And Marty Supreme did a great job. But I think Sinners is going to mop up this year. Again, I didn't even see it, but you're nominated 16 times. I think they probably win 4 times, 5 times. Good for them. Remember last year, Anora? That was a sleeper film that won. So, but what's most exciting to me about these awards, and I'm going to say this because these are the gatekeepers, the casting directors. They're finally giving an Academy Award to a casting director. Kudos, because They do. They really represent so much in Hollywood. I mean, I've only met a handful in my career. I was never one that went on a lot of auditions. Yeah, it's okay. But hey, congrats to the casting directors are getting their shake over there at the Academy Awards. All right, guys, let me do this. I want to give you 3 fun facts today that I thought were pretty cool. Number 1, you're more likely to be killed by a cow than a shark. I mean, I read that today. I said, well, I don't go to farms much, and I definitely don't like the water much, so I don't think I'm going to be getting killed by either of those. Number 2, did you know this? The average American eats 25 pounds of bananas every year. Well, I'm thinking 2 to 3 times that for me. I eat a banana every single day, sometimes 2. And number 3, I got 3 words for you. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Did you see that? Now, he's a star guard for the Oklahoma City Thunder professional basketball team. I talked about it the other day. I'm not really a basketball fan. I don't really watch basketball, but what I saw was he broke a record from 1963, the year I was born. Wilt Chamberlain. Everybody knows Wilt Chamberlain, who's 50 and older, I'm sure. But he scored over 20 points in 127 games straight. So congrats, Shai. You're awesome. Keep it going. All right, guys, that's going to be it for today. I want to leave you with the 3 Tola takeaways. The most important, respect the ABCs, especially this weekend. Number 2, call somebody. Go visit somebody. Spend some time. Share your goodwill with another human being. It counts. And number 3, be willing to accept another person's opinion. Hey, whether it's the war, but, you got to do it. You got to accept people for who they are. All right, guys, have a great weekend. Have a safe weekend. Have fun. If you're in Indianapolis going to the St. Patty's Day Parade, which I will be, enjoy. And as always, get your workout in. Peace.